Today, we are diving into a concept that sounds so simple, but is honestly one of the hardest things to master, and that's Satya. Now, this isn't just about telling the truth. Oh no, it's about the deep, profound courage it takes to actually live in alignment with reality itself. So what does that really mean? Let's get into it.
You know, we're always told honesty is the best policy. But is it always? I mean, what if telling the truth just causes a whole lot of unnecessary harm? This very question is right at the heart of Satya, and it challenges us to look way beyond just simple, blunt honesty.
In this contrast you're seeing, it's absolutely key. On one side, you've got what we call brutal honesty, which, let's be real, can sometimes just be an unfiltered, even cruel tool for our own ego. But on the other side, you have Satya, and that's a disciplined truth. It considers not just what is being said, but how it's said, and maybe most importantly, why. It's about serving a purpose that's so much higher than just being right.
All right, so let's get to the core of it. What is Satya really? To get it, we've got to go back to its roots. We have to see why it's considered the very backbone of cosmic and personal order, what's known as Dharma. So the word Satya actually comes from the Sanskrit root sat, and sat means that which is, or that which is real. So right there, from its very origin, Satya isn't about your personal opinion or my subjective feelings. It's about being faithful to reality itself. It's this deep alignment of your thoughts, your words, and your actions with what actually exists. And this really shows you just how fundamental this idea is. In Hindu philosophy, Satya is seen as more important than even sacred rituals. It's thought of as the very force that holds up Dharma, the entire cosmic order. The core idea here is that without Satya as the foundation, no other virtue, not courage, not compassion, not justice, none of it can truly survive. You've probably heard this famous phrase before, Satyam eva jayate, which means truth alone triumphs. But listen, this isn't talking about the loudest truth or the most aggressive truth or the most convenient one. No, it's talking about the enduring, patient, compassionate truth, the one that ultimately wins out, even when it seems quiet or totally powerless in the moment. Now, to really truly understand the weight of this commitment, there is no better story than that of King Harishchandra. His tale is pretty much the ultimate test of Satya. It shows you what it means to hold on to truth when it costs you absolutely everything. So the story goes, just for the sake of a promise he made, he gave it all up. First to go, his entire kingdom. All his wealth. Gone. But it didn't stop there. His commitment to truth then forced him to be separated from his wife and his son. I mean, can you imagine a deeper personal loss? And finally, this once great king was forced to work in a cremation ground, a complete and utter loss of his former status, his dignity, everything he was. And here it is, the powerful climax. Through all of that unimaginable suffering, he never broke his word. He never once abandoned his alignment with truth. His integrity was the one thing he absolutely refused to sacrifice. The story of Harishchandra teaches us something so profound. See, easy truth, that doesn't really measure anything, does it? Real Satya, real integrity is only tested when it's hard, when it hurts, and when you have literally everything to lose. Okay, but this brings up a really critical question. Does holding on to the truth give you a license to be cruel, a free pass to hurt people? Absolutely not. Satya isn't just about being right. It has to be balanced with wisdom and with compassion. This distinction is just so critical. A lot of times, what we call brutal honesty is really just our ego wanting to prove a point, to feel superior. Satya, on the other hand, is truth that serves a higher purpose. It aims to support and to heal, not to cause harm. It isn't rigid, it's contextual. It requires some serious wisdom. And this is where it gets really interesting. The epic Mahābhārata actually clarifies that Satya can take many different forms. Sometimes, the absolute most truthful action is strategic silence, choosing not to speak a truth that would just cause needless pain. Other times, it's unconditional kindness or conscious restraint. The goal is always to speak the truth gently so that the truth itself doesn't become a form of violence. Okay, so we've explored the philosophy. It's a huge concept, but how do we bring this powerful idea into our actual everyday lives? Well, this is where Satya stops being just an idea and becomes a practice, a quiet, daily discipline of courage.
So let's just walk through this. It really all starts inside, with being radically honest with yourself first. From there, you work on aligning your actions with your values. Then, when you do speak, the goal is to clarify, not to humiliate. It means avoiding those little, tempting exaggerations we all do. And then, maybe the hardest step of all, choosing your own integrity over that constant need for social approval.
So at the end of the day, the crucial takeaway is this. Practicing Satya isn't about being the person who's always right or who wins every single argument. It's about the internal state of being. It's about standing aligned with reality, with your own deepest principles, and with the way things really are.
And that really just leaves us with a final question to reflect on. You see, living in truth, it's an active choice. It's something we do every single day in big ways and in small ones. So when you look at your own life, what is the truth that you are choosing to live by?